What's up, Mets fans? Back at you another week of Orange and Blue Thing. I am Darren Meenan, and that is Julia Quadrino, and we are going to talk as little about the actual Mets on the field this week than you've probably ever heard in the existence of the show.
Yes.
So I mean, we made a conscious decision about this because we talked about it last week. Every other week, like at the odd weeks, the even weeks, whatever,
Right.
of this show so far this season has been the extreme opposite of the one before it. So
this team sucks or World Series or bust.
yeah,
And no in between.
Right. So the show has taken a turn for the worst. Well, not the turn, not the show.
No,
the team lately has obviously been severely underperforming. So instead of us coming here and complaining and putting more negative energy out into the Mets universe, we decided what is the next best thing than euphoria, and it would be having a cute little puppy on the show.
My impact is being felt on this show.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm slowly. It's taken me a couple years, but like I'm inching my way to making this an entirely dogs podcast.
Oh yeah, just a dog podcast, all about the dog life, whether it's you walking dogs or working for the Gatto
Senior Dog Sanctuary, Gatto Pup and Friends.
Gatto Pup and Friends, and now we have three special guests going to be joining us in just a little bit. So we will be talking all about Shea moving on to bigger and greater
the next step in his journey
to become a vet service dog, and now Shea walking in Seaver walking in the four-legged footsteps of Shea. So we will get to that in a little bit, but of course we want to talk about tonight being the Subway Series, only because TickPick gave away free tickets for tonight's game. Actually,
well, I love that for whoever that person is.
Yeah, you know
not
what?
Having to pay.
Yeah. So the way that it worked was obviously we're great friends with TickPick, and they gave away 2 free tickets to either tonight or tomorrow's game. And the winner was announced, I think, a couple days ago. We were supposed to do it on Friday, and obviously some things kind of got in the way, whether it was our depression about the way the Mets have been playing or whatever it may be. But I think the winner wasn't announced until a couple days ago. So let me scroll back just to give them a little shine here.
Take your time. Just don't make me talk.
No, you don't have to talk. So the winner was at JD694 on Twitter. And I'm not sure which game they picked, but they are going to either tonight's game or tomorrow's game. So shout out to them and shout out to TickPick. Why don't you tell the people at home about TickPick, though?
I would love to.
Go ahead. And speak louder.
Okay. Am I not talking loudly?
You're talking quieter than I've ever heard you talk in the history of the show.
I think I'm nervous about Seaver. But TickPick, we love TickPick. If you want to go to any event, whether it be a Mets game, any type of sporting event, concert, comedy shows, whatever it may be, and you want to go for the cheapest price possible, you want to go to tickpick.com or download the TickPick app, search your event, and you will find not only the lowest prices, but no extra added service fees, taxes, nothing. When you go to check out, it's going to be the same exact price that you see at the listing, which is very rare in ticket resale sites, but not TickPick. So go to TickPick, use our code OABT to get $10 off any order over $99 in the app if you're a first-time user, and you're welcome.
Yeah. So you can get in tonight for I think the get-in price is like $60, but obviously the way the TickPick works is we talk about it every week.
Damn.
There's star ratings on the top, and you could basically see what the best deals are and plan your night accordingly. But again, obviously no fees. So the price you see is the price you pay. And it's that we love it. Besides Mets.com, we obviously use TickPick, so we love it.
For everything.
So speaking of tonight, a couple of things I wanted to point out before we do get on to our 3 special guests. Did you hear that R.A. Dickey is going to be at the game tonight?
I did. I meant to send you that right before I came here, but I thought you would yell at me for like not moving faster to get here, so I didn't. But yes, R.A. Dickey's going to be at the game tonight. That's so exciting.
Very exciting.
So unexpected, but I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jay Horowitz, who we talked about last week, also a lot of weeks he posts things on the blog. So there's like a Mets blog that he posts on.
It's like alumni base.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jay wrote a whole thing about how R.A. Dickey's going to be there tonight because Buck Showalter was instrumental in basically transforming Dickey into a knuckleballer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well,
he probably should have.
It wasn't like his soul. It wasn't like his, solely on his shoulders, but he definitely did add to it.
Love
So
that.
It says here that this was written yesterday. Tomorrow, which is tonight, R.A. will be at Citi Field and visit Buck Showalter, who helped him reinvent himself as a knuckleballer when he played for Buck in Texas. So really cool to see R.A. Dickey back there. He was at QBC last year, or this past,
right.
I don't say this year.
This past QBC.
It was like January.
Yeah. No,
maybe it's December.
I was in New Zealand, so it was December.
And I was just getting over coronavirus. It was like my first time out of the house after like 2 or 3 weeks. I feel like no one has coronavirus anymore.
Let's not say that.
I mean, I don't know anybody.
No, let's not jinx it.
Oh yeah.
And let's.
All right.
Very good.
Yeah, exactly. So let's welcome in our guest. Julia's going to do a nice little intro here.
Oh, great.
We've actually never had 3 guests on the show ever. So
I know.
This is a whole new layout for us.
This is big. So we have 3 very special guests here today. The first being Jane Sun from the Mets organization and the Amazing Mets Foundation. The second being Tom Rubing. Did I say that right, Tom?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Tom Rubing on behalf of America's Vets Dogs, an organization who works to help those who have served our country honorably live with dignity and independence. And our third guest is, to my knowledge, our first non-human guest. My personal favorite we've ever had. I'm sorry, David Wright. The newest Mets vet dog, Seaver. Oh my God.
Yes, there he is.
Perfect.
So cute. So cute. Thank you guys for coming on board. I know that, Jane, you and I have met a couple times.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have the wrong thing on the screen here. It's a live show. My bad. Here we go. So
There
Jane and I actually had I think it was like a Zoom meeting because we first met. We were just talking about coronavirus right in the thick of it.
Yeah.
So we did a little Zoom, and obviously we've crossed paths a couple times at Citi Field. But can you guys explain to us maybe how this relationship started between the Mets and the organization now with Shea and now Seaver?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thanks for having us on. And Tom, thanks for joining with Shea. This is so exciting. Actually, back in 2019, one of my colleagues, Tony Croslin, he had first connected with the America's Vet Dogs and had looked into possibly sponsoring a vet dog. And then obviously, as we talk about coronavirus, COVID hit, things went on hold. The Cohens bought the team. The new Amazing Mets Foundation was formed. And one of the first grant proposals that I put in front of Alex Cohen, the president of the Amazing Mets Foundation and owner, was this opportunity to sponsor a dog and through the America's Vet Dog. So she was so excited about the opportunity. And so we funded our first grant to them back in November 2021 to support a corporate puppy with a purpose program. And as far as I'm aware, we are the first MLB team to actually partner with America's Vet Dog. So we were very excited to have done that. And at that time, and then we had Shea, our dog, stay with us, who left us last week for his more formal training. And then on Friday, we unveiled our new vet dog, Seaver.
I knew when the vote went up, I knew that it was a runaway.
Landslide.
So did you guys knew that as well, probably, right?
We actually were hopeful because we had some good names. And I think maybe we were hours in and we saw it and we were like, oh my gosh, this isn't even, it really wasn't close, actually.
Do you know that there was a Homer dog back in the day?
I did not know
there's a
that.
famous photo.
It's a beagle, right?
It's a beagle. So a buddy that sits with us occasionally by the name of Charlie Chaz.
Oh, yeah.
He has a tattoo actually of the dog, and the dog used to hold a sign in the stands that said "Let's go Mets."
That's awesome. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, it would have been the second Homer.
The second, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. So Tom, we know these pups they're being trained to become service dogs, but can you kind of explain in your own words exactly what America's Vet Dogs as an organization does and what goes into the process of bringing the whole vision together aside from just training the dogs?
Sure. America's Vet Dogs supplies service dogs and or guide dogs to veterans with disabilities or first responders with disabilities. I am a volunteer. My wife and I volunteered for the last dozen years or so. Seaver here is the 8th dog that we've raised. And are you okay? So as puppy raisers, our job is we get the pups when they're about 8 weeks old, and we raise them until they're about 14 to 18 months. During that time, the biggest thing we do is socialize them, make sure they get used to everyday life, make sure that we raise them to be a calm, confident pup. We also do some training with them, but not the final training. And that's where Shea is now. He went in for his formal training last week, where he'll spend about another 2 or 3 months with professional dog trainers to learn cues that are needed specifically for the vet that he'll be matched up with. So depending on Shea's strengths and what the vet or first responder needs as far as help is concerned, they'll fine tune the training towards that. So we get the arduous yet very fun job of taking a pup in at 8 weeks and slowly watching them grow, and then pull at the heartstrings and we give them back to go to training.
I was just going to say that it's got to be so difficult. I mean, I'm a fairly new dog owner myself, or dog dad, whatever you want to call it. But it's got to be very difficult for you to now be on your, what'd you say, 8th or 9th dog here and be with them nonstop for a year and then give them back.
But
right?
so rewarding.
Yeah. It's about 14 to 16 months that we have them. And yeah, we definitely grow attached. But it's obviously for a better good. So it's not a sad moment. It just pulls at the heartstrings.
It's, I would always want to just imagine that Shea used to have a doghouse next to like Mr. Met at Citi Field, but clearly.
I was just going to say, this is so interesting because I was going to ask kind of, what the day, like what could a normal day at the ballpark look like for Seaver based on Shea's experience? But also my question was like, where do they go when the Mets are on the road or when it's the offseason? In my mind, they just lived at Citi Field. So what is like a basic day like for Seaver?
Yeah. Well, the dogs live with us at my home 24/7. We bring them into Citi Field for about every other home game. We haven't been on the road with them. We did go down to spring training, which was awesome. But no, so he's with us 24/7 in our home. And when he's not doing community events for the Amazing Mets Foundation, which by the way is an amazing foundation, they do some amazing work besides supporting America's vet dogs. They do so many other great things that they should be applauded for as well. So Seaver will be with us for 14 to 16 months in our home 24/7. We have 2 other dogs at home that were breeders for the foundation because the foundation breeds all their own puppies because they want to make sure that the puppies they start off with are of good health and good genealogy, etc. So he has a blast at home. He's like any other dog at home, running around the yard and playing with the other dogs, etc. We go out every single day on an outing, whether it be to the grocery store or to a hospital or to an airport. Every single day he goes out, again, just for socializing, for make sure that he's as calm and comfortable in every environment possible, so that when he's placed with a vet, he's good to go.
So let me ask you this. This is a judgment-free zone, but as a volunteer, were you a Mets fan previously? Because this worked out like perfectly for you.
I'm happy to say I was born and raised in Whitestone. I think you might be familiar with the area. Went to St. Francis Prep High School, St. Luke's Grammar School. Yes, I was 10 years old when the Mets won in '69. Wow. Ringing the school bell and going nuts. Back then, the games were on during the day, and you can actually, watch the whole series. It was awesome. So no, I am a Mets fan and have been for my life.
Oh,
that's excellent. Now you get to go to every other home game. It's excellent.
And that's
been the blast of it too. It's as obviously I love dogs and raising the pups, but having the opportunity this last year with Shea to be at Citi Field, we walk around the front offices and all the employees are saying hi. The security guys, he's like one of the family there. So it's been as much a blast for me as it has been for the pups.
Yeah.
You were saying, Jane?
No, I was going to say, I mean, and just as Tom said, Shea was like one of the family. So was Tom and Deb. Obviously, it wasn't a prerequisite for the volunteer puppy raiser to be a Mets fan, but it was great when we met him and he shared that story with us. We thought, oh my God, this couldn't have worked out any better for us.
Right.
And they've been so great coming out to some of our events out in the community. Amazing Day was a lot of fun, and other baseball clinics and things like that we do. And the fans love them, the kids love them, everybody loves Shea and hopefully now Seaver. So we're excited to have a second vet dog with us.
It's funny you mentioned
Seaver, by the way, was born on Amazing Day.
Oh, no way!
And that's March 25th.
No way. You have I don't know if you guys have seen the show before or know anything about us besides the 7 line, but Julia, this episode is Julia's dream.
You have no idea.
She's heavily in the dog community.
I work
as well.
with dogs for a living. I work at a senior dog sanctuary. So
Cool.
if you ever want to get involved with senior dogs, I got a good place.
Okay.
But no, I was joking before. I've been like slowly turning this podcast into an all dogs podcast.
I saw the Paws and Pals last week. Or the
yeah.
week
Yeah, it's great. And by the way, I'm happy to report 3 out of 4 of those dogs got adopted since we showed.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
Excellent.
awesome.
I know I'm backtracking here for a second, but you mentioned St. Francis Prep. I used to work at the 7-Eleven right next to that on French Louis Boulevard.
Really?
Yeah.
Small little world.
So I don't know. Maybe we cross paths one day. Probably not. But so we were just also wondering, I guess that Seaver hasn't had as much time at the ballpark yet. But for Shea, what players maybe gravitated the most towards?
Yeah, who are the dog lovers?
Yeah, we want to know.
For science.
The Tomas Nido was great. Racanelli, bullpen catcher, gets down on the ground with him like a catcher would. And actually, it was 2 catchers, because they like to get down and go on the ground with the pups. But Jeff McNeil loves him, took plenty of photos with him as well. Brendan Nimmo's been great. Luis Guillorme used to be the little scooch. He would roll the ball in front of Shea to try to get him to move out of position or whatnot. So we had fun with that. But all in all, I mean, they've all been good.
I love that, and so I was going to ask, because I know Jeff McNeil ended up adopting a dog that was there, I think, through North Shore for Bark in the Park Day, Willow. Right. So my question was, do any of the Mets players ever bring their own dogs to the ballpark and interact with Shea, or maybe now Seaver? Does that ever happen, or do you try to keep it strictly like people focused when you're there?
I have not seen their dogs. I know what dogs they have, and Pete Alonso has Bear, who's a service dog in training, I believe, down in Florida somewhere. But no, I haven't seen their dogs personally. We have been to Bark in the Park and led the parade there with Shea. That's a little tougher experience because dog distraction is something that we really need the service dogs to know when they can pay attention to them and know when they can't. Because if it's a person with a disability, whether we visually impaired or whatever, their service dog needs to pay attention to that. Needs to pay attention to them as much as possible.
Right.
I think I saw a video of Aaron Judge bringing his dog to the ballpark.
Yes. Gus Judge. It's the one part about the Yankees that I have to say I love. But consider this my formal request for the Mets players to start bringing their dogs in and have just like a full-on puppy play date in the outfield grass, and please take pictures.
That's surprising, because now that I think about it as well, I don't think a lot of them do have their own dogs and pets, and I don't think I've met Brandon Nimmo's dog. Chelsea brought him in.
His own Instagram.
Yeah, but I don't think they've ever been like out on the field with the players.
Yeah.
You know what Julia's doing here? She's basically like, honestly, what is it? It's June, right? So we only do our show during the season. So she's probably trying to find a way for every show of July, August, and September to be dog based.
To be able to talk about dogs. Yeah. Please help me with the content. But I just think it's a great idea personally.
No, yeah, it'd be excellent. I mean, honestly, who doesn't love a puppy? Right?
I know.
Except for the one that keeps me awake all night, because she does not want to sleep in her bed.
Hold on. I also, is Seaver wearing a bow tie?
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Oh my God. This is the
rocking the blue and orange.
Oh my God.
Or orange and blue. Sorry.
No, it's perfect. I love him so much. So my next question is, because, as much as I know about service dogs and, how you're supposed to restrict your excitement around them and all that, I feel like it might be a little different at the ballpark. So if we were to see Seaver in action at the ballpark, what is the best, most respectful way to interact with him? Should we not distract him? Should we see if we how do you want that to work? Do you encourage the human interaction? Like, what are you looking for from the fans there?
The first and foremost, as a general rule, if you see anybody with a dog, you should always just ask the person if it's okay to pet him, whether it's a service dog or just a pet walking down the street. So that'd be the first thing. And as a general rule, are you okay? As a general rule, we allow the fans to interact with them, to say hi and stuff. He'll typically quickly regain focus with me or my wife, which is what they're supposed to do. And I tell the fans, don't be offended.
Right.
That's what he's supposed to be doing. But no, we allow as much interaction as we can, so the fans can enjoy the experience as well.
Love that for me.
So we are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This also does go up afterwards as a podcast for anyone that wants to listen. But we do have a scroll of comments here on the sides, and some people are asking questions here. So I'm going to pull one up here. We love this fan's last name because he wants to know.
Awesome.
Anthony Labrador wants to know, is Seaver a Labrador?
Yes, Anthony. Seaver is a black lab retriever.
Are they known to be better service dogs, the labs?
The labs, the foundation uses several dogs. They use poodles for folks that have allergies, and their poodles are hypoallergenic. We use golden retrievers. We use Labrador retrievers and golden lab mixes. The labs are excellent for service and guide work because they're so food driven. The training is just works well. So, and they're always willing to learn, and of course they're pretty cute.
Are you guys hitting the game tonight, tomorrow, anytime this week?
No, we're not going to either of the Yankee games.
Probably very busy.
Seaver will be brought out for the first time on June 28th, I believe. That game is when we'll be doing the probably the vet of the game ceremony, kind of like what Shea did way back when. The first time he was announced was at the vet of the game ceremony. So June 28th will be his coming out party at Citi Field.
That's excellent.
We'll be there before then. We'll do some events with the foundation, I think on the 24th, military transition day or military summit that the Amazing Mets Foundation does for vets, which again is another amazing venue. So we'll be there for that. And then and of course we'll be visiting the front offices probably in the next week or so just to say hi to everybody, get them used to the atmosphere, etc.
That's great. So, but before we let you go, we wanted to ask if there's any way for the fans watching, is there any way that they could help support America's Vets Dogs? Is there any kind of fundraisers or donation button on the website?
Absolutely. Vetdogs.org is the website, and they can donate right there. We also could always use more volunteers. Volunteer puppy raisers are always something we're looking to. I'm retired, and I can't think of a better way to spend retirement. So please, anybody who's interested in volunteering, it doesn't have to be raising a puppy. It can be helping with driving the pups to and from places. It could be helping out in the kennel. There's a whole bunch of volunteering opportunities. So donating and or volunteering, vetdogs.org is the place to go.
And is that just New York based, or is there different branches?
No, it's we are based. We have a 10-acre campus in Smithtown, Long Island, and that's where we are right now. But our reach goes out the whole East Coast and into the central United States. We have other puppies with a purpose. You know, the Islanders had several dogs that they were working with. You can see a picture of
behind you.
Of one of them. The Washington Capitals, the Houston Texans, Nashville Soccer, to name a few, just to highlight the need of service and vet dogs and get the name out. And we have another great thing. We have college campuses, University of Georgia, University of Maryland, where the students are volunteer puppy raisers, where they work in teams of 2, and they raise a puppy on campus and do all the same things that my wife and I do with our dogs. And then a lot of the service dogs also, we have a prison program where inmates, obviously in good standing, are helping raise the puppies as well. And on the weekends, those puppies go to weekend puppy raisers, because obviously there's not a lot of socialization within a prison, Monday through Friday. So on the weekends, the dogs go to other people where they can then get used to, again, grocery stores, hospitals, airports, etc.
That's great. So I have vetdogs.org open right now for anyone watching live. If you scroll down to the bottom, there is a few different buttons you can click. So raise a puppy, volunteer, or get a service dog. So head on over to vetdogs.org. Make sure you make plans to say hello to Seaver starting on the 28th at Citi Field. And we thank you both so much for, well, the three of you, I would say both, for being on with us. And hold on, I got to highlight that again. You can do that one more time. Oh, beautiful.
Oh my
Seaver, you just became a gift.
Seaver, you are an absolute legend.
Thank you so much for being on, and we'll catch up with you guys at the ballpark.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See you. Bye.
Good boy.
Oh my gosh.
That was excellent.
I know you usually do like you'll pick like a clip to show as like a promo for this episode. I want
to do all the yawns.
I was just gonna say a compilation of all of his yawns. Nothing else, no context, just that, and watch it be like the highest viewed show we've ever had. That's my
Well, I'm
opinion.
absolutely doing at least 2 gifts.
Oh my god.
One of the wave and like another one of just like
yawn.
the 8 yawns. But it was, you know what was pretty crazy too? If you noticed, every time Tom said Seaver's name, I think that's when the yawns would start.
Yeah.
I've been trying to teach Bristol to yawn on command. She doesn't do it.
Why?
Because I think it's funny. When I talk to her, she like sometimes goes and like sticks her tongue out. And she did it once.
Oh my god, that was so much fun. He really like his yawns, they weren't just yawns, like it was almost like complaints. Like, can we get off the computer and go do something?
Very good pup. I'm very excited about that.
I love him.
And I'm already getting a couple texts from people that watched that said excellent segment. So thank you to them. I do want to highlight something because you know that we do like to partake in adult beverages once in a while when we can.
Wearing the
Send the beer guy shirt. We got to put like a Corona logo on there now.
Yeah.
So shout out to Corona.
We'll
be partaking in a few of those in a little bit in the parking lot and obviously in the game once we get to Citi Field. But if you know, I don't have a problem myself. Thankfully, I'm certainly friends with many people who do, either recovering alcoholics or just people that know they can't really control themselves
or
and
they choose not to.
They or choose not to, whatever. Or you know, they've toned back over the years, or we're not getting any younger and maybe decided to enjoy certain situations without drinking, which I definitely respect. So the Mets are doing something at Citi Field starting on June 29th for the weekend up until July 2nd. They teamed up with the Absence of Proof.
Oh, yes. This is wonderful.
And I do want to play a little video here that I think was also on Twitter or Instagram last week. I know Alex Cohen shared it, but this is also on the Mets Twitter. It went up about an hour ago, coincidentally. So let's play this and let's see what they got planned for that weekend.
Absence of Proof was founded when I stopped drinking in New York. And I think, as we're all familiar, New York is a really nightlife-centric place, which is awesome, except for that it also revolves around alcohol. So when you're no longer drinking, you notice a big lack of non-alcoholic nightlife options. So I just started throwing non-alcoholic parties around New York for anyone that wanted to take a night off of drinking. And then I realized that there was a lot of demand in other cities and states as well. So I quit my full-time tech job and went full-time as this. So obviously big fan of the Mets being new to New York. Really grateful that Alex reached out to me, and she's incredibly passionate about non-alcoholic options. Yeah, so we're super excited for the non-alcoholic pop-up that we're doing at Citi Field. Included in the ticket is food, drinks, which include non-alcoholic cocktails, non-alcoholic wines, and non-alcoholic beers. We're also going to have picture opportunities with Mr. and Mrs. Met, a DJ. So think of it just as a party. And then you also, of course, get a ticket to the game.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And you know what? I looked this up. So this is going to be in the Piazza Club, a special little pop-up area, but it's only $100.
No way.
Where can you go anywhere for?
That includes a ticket to the game?
Ticket to the game,
Damn.
The Absence of Proof drinks, the food, and like the hangout in that certain area. I guess like your ticket is your entry to that special hangout area. But
that's sick.
I was speaking with Alex about this, humble brag here. I was talking to Alex about it, but she had said that hopefully this goes well and they could make a permanent location at Citi Field.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, I'm not sure. Is it like she organizes just the events, or does she have her own like brands of the non-alcoholic wines, whatever? Because I was gonna say that could totally be like a stand, like a concession stand.
Oh, for sure.
And
there's so much pressure involved in, I mean, I don't certainly feel it, but I feel like if I did have a problem, maybe I would try to not go to certain things that would be
tempting.
Alcohol related,
Right.
So everywhere you look in a ballpark, it's gambling and alcohol and this and that, there's a lot of vices or a lot of, not pressure, but influences that you might not want to partake in, So I think this is excellent. So shout out to the Mets and Absence of Proof and Alex Cohen for reaching out.
Alex is killing it this year.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Absolutely. So we just wanted to give that a little shine here. So
what other not Mets things can we talk about?
I have look at the last thing that I wrote down.
Oh, hold on. Wait, I've seen this.
No, you haven't.
Are you talking about the video that's gone
There's
viral?
so many alien videos popping up that I've been talking about.
The one
this
that landed in the backyard
in Vegas. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been talking about aliens forever. And as long as I could probably pick up an episode from season 1 7 years ago of me somewhat talking about aliens or wanting to see aliens. Space freaks me out.
I completely
there's
agree.
no
I
end.
can't think about it.
No, there's absolutely no end. There's no wall. There's obviously other galaxies and things going on out there that we cannot be the only life forms out there. No. So Friday night, I'm at a surprise 70th birthday party. Oh. I didn't have cell phone service and I had no idea what was going on with the Mets.
I love that.
It was actually great. So, I wasn't sitting there stressed out. The Mets lost. And I was like, oh, I was at a party.
Who cares?
So there was a hypothetical floating around because we saw the video of the body cam of the lights in the sky and everything that went out in Vegas.
Seen it, let's just provide a smidge of context. There's a video going around. One police officer saw, and it was caught on video, this like shining like green light just like dart through the sky. And then like almost immediately after, nearby, they get a call from somebody that says there is like an 8-foot creature in their backyard.
2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them just staring at them. And like they don't know what to do.
And the cop was like, normally I would, not pay this any mind. I would say this is insane.
Right.
I would still obviously go and do my job.
Right, but like make sure like, are you?
But he said to them, he's like, I kind of feel freaked out for even standing here right now because I believe you,
Yeah.
Anyway, so here's a hypothetical for you. And a lot of different answers came up to this. Well, it's only really 2 answers.
Oh,
so
God.
We first said you're in the middle of a desert, but it doesn't matter where you are.
Okay.
You could be on your block, walking your dog, whatever. You're somewhere.
All right.
A spaceship comes down. The door opens. An alien walks out. I don't know how they can speak to you, either it's English or whatever. They somehow communicate to you that you can get in with them. You don't have to get in with them. You're going to be safe.
Right.
And they're going to bring you back in 1 year, but you can't like tell anyone where you're going. You have to get in right there on the spot. Do you get in or do you say, no, I'm chilling. I'm going to just stay here?
I am promised, no lying, that I would be safe.
Well, they say that. I mean, you have to just take their word for it. But their word is, who knows? The door can close and they can kill you. But like,
yeah, I'd have to pass. It's kind of just like the same thing as stranger danger. A guy comes up to you in a van and is like, "Oh, do you want to go for a ride? I'll bring you right back in an hour." I think I'd have to use the same logic and just say no.
Well, there was varied answers with this. It was like, Kelly's brother, not married, no kids. He's like, absolutely. He's like, I'll get in right now.
Because honestly, the first thought was a year was just like, oh, my older relatives. Like,
yeah,
a year's a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'd have. I mean, I'm sorry, Kelly, but like, I feel like I have to know. Kelly, I love Kelly and Amelia so much, but like, I'm trusting that they will bring me back. I'm just gonna have to trust it.
This is the difference between a man and woman's perspective
and I was
on
just
being
gonna
approached by a stranger on the street.
I was just gonna say that every man that answered this said they're going in.
Yeah, and women are like, no.
Except for Kelly's cousin's husband, Brandon. I think he said no. But every other man was like, I'm going. I have to know.
Crazy.
There's aliens, absolutely. I have to see.
Oh, I'm 100%. I'm in agreement with you that there's aliens. I would say though, I would be very polite. I would not try to be like rude about it. I would just be like, I'm so sorry. I have to go get my hair cut. Like, I can't right now.
Oh, that you mean to say no?
Yeah, I wouldn't be rude about it because then they would just get pissed and be like, whatever. Again, exactly how you would approach a strange man on the street. Don't be aggressive unless there's somebody there as a witness. You have to just slowly back. It's crazy. Being a woman's a scam.
Well, back to the Mets for 1 second.
Ugh.
Not to change the subject from men being scams, but Corona.
No, being a woman is a scam.
We have a ridiculous amount of Corona here. Thanks to them for doing a delivery here. As soon as we finish this up and I get the podcast up and wait for Shoemaker to get out of work, we are driving over to Citi Field. It is game 1 of the Subway Series. The Mets have 5 games on deck. SNY posed the question.
I saw this.
We have 2 with the Yankees. Obviously, Thursday night's off. If you're around and you like golf, come out and see Jeff McNeil at Top Golf. I'm pretty sure tickets are still available for that. And then this weekend, the Cardinals are coming to town. The Cardinals stink too.
I know.
So
I'm going to one of those or 2 of those games.
Sunday, Father's Day,
and Friday.
So what's your prediction for the next 5 games? Can they go 3-2? Can they go 5-0?
I think they could totally go 3-2. Will they? I don't know. I don't remember who said this. One of the announcers said they just keep finding ways to lose, and it's
those 3 games in Atlanta were won. You know what I mean? So it's like
I know
the shape that we're in right now. This isn't as bad. We're talking Mets. The record we're seeing on paper and all the frustrations that we've been going through the past week and whatever it is, past 10 games or like 2-8, whatever it is. This isn't who they. I don't believe this is who they are.
No, I've kind of adopted the mentality that they definitely could be better, and they definitely could turn the whole season around. Like there was a stat that went up of like, the past 4 World Series winners, what their records were, whatever. But it's just, I'm kind of accepting if they don't. Okay, my expectations are just kind of low. I'll be pleasantly surprised if they turn it around. So I'm not just like, they're done, but I'm also just like, I'm not going to keep getting like, I'm not going to say 5-0.
I already did.
I know you did. I saw your tweet. I'm like, you're insane. I'm not going to say 5-0 and then be disappointed if it doesn't happen.
The Mets are without Pete Alonso, obviously. The Yankees are without Judge. We have the 2 guys that pitching the next 2 days who the other night.
Should be.
Exactly. The other night, I don't know if you saw my tweet. I'm like, this is exactly what Julia had said.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go into the season with your plan A being 2 guys that are old as dirt.
Yeah.
No offense to them. They're both Hall of Fame pitchers.
Dirt. They're both younger than you.
I'm old. I'm old as dirt too. I'm allowed to say that.
In baseball years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which obviously they have Hall of Fame careers.
Right.
But as far as right now, even Verlander said himself last night, I don't know who he was talking to, but I saw the quote come out like, I'm not paid what I'm paid to pitch like I've been pitching.
Right.
So the guys know they're fucking up, so they got to step it up. So we'll see what happens. If both of them show up tonight and tomorrow, and then they got the off day Thursday, why can't they go and sweep the Cardinals at home?
I think that's a very
5-0
question.
Market 5-0.
Right.
So back to aliens for a second.
Perfect.
Do you believe that anyone was ever really abducted? Because
of course.
So when there's all these stories like, oh, Johnny's nuts, he says he's abducted.
But
maybe Johnny's telling the truth.
Johnny's seen some shit.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, it truly is one of those things that like you genuinely think about it. How could we possibly be?
We're not
the only, and on top of that, like we can't.
Do you think they're already here? Like they're among us?
Yeah.
Like they like
I'm
live
gonna
here.
go full blown crazy. I think the government knows all about it.
Well, obviously
they know, and that's what I'm saying is they're trying to hide the fact
of
that
course
they are among us.
I love this. This is so now orange and blue thing is going to turn into a
orange and space thing.
No, it's going to be dogs and conspiracy theories.
This is literally like my bread and butter.
Okay,
this is a show I should have been asked to co-host.
Orange and conspiracy theory pup show. Things. That's the new show. So back to the Mets for a second. Yeah, we will be there tonight. I'm not going to be there tomorrow. Thursday, we got Jeff McNeil's thing. And then obviously this weekend is Father's Day. So we do have a sale going on right now on the Seven Lines website. Pop on over to the7line.com. If you go into the outerwear area, there's a button that shows the button-ups. All the button-ups are 25% off with the code FATHERS25.
Amazing.
So I'm going to be 100 billion% honest here. I ordered way too many because I was honest too when we had way too many of the home run apple sweaters and I put them up at like a blowout just to, running out of space out there. The first release of that party time button up 2 4th of July's ago was like the matching set.
Yeah.
There was only one SKU and it sold out. And I'm like, oh, sick. It sold out.
Right.
I ordered like 7 SKUs after that of different designs, different shirts, the sundresses, the shorts.
Yeah.
I overdid it. And I went way too heavy on it. So that's why they're up at a discount. We don't normally do discounts.
I know you don't.
Besides like Black Friday and like things like that. Tomorrow is Flag Day. So all the flags are discounted also.
We love a Flag Day sale.
So Flag Day sale. Celebrate the flags.
Also, happy early birthday, Zappa. Flag Day, baby.
Oh, really? Tomorrow's his birthday?
Yeah. Flag
no
Day.
way.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll keep him out. I'm driving him also tonight. So maybe I'll keep him out till midnight.
Perfect. Get him a cake.
Yeah. Or a cupcake. Or something. I'm driving him. I'm saving him $40 for the parking. So there you go.
Buy his own damn cake.
Happy birthday. No, he gets the ice though. He's like, I'll drive.
Yeah.
I'll drive.
Yeah.
And he just brings the ice. And I'm like, that's fine by me. So we will have
Everyone
some cold
needs a Zappa.
cocktails at the tailgate. Head on over there. People are probably already driving there now.
Yeah.
Because it's 1:30 and the game's at 7.
Honestly, that's what I decided I'm not going to go is because I'm not going to get out of work until like 6:30, 6:45. Still have like a 35, 40-minute drive. I'm not going to find parking. I won't get in until like the 4th inning if I'm lucky.
You should have prepaid for the $5 lot.
I'm not walking. I'm sorry.
What?
I've seen the
You're a healthy young lady. You're not even 30 years old.
It doesn't matter. I'm not walking that far. After work, you don't understand what my job entails. It is physical labor.
Caitlin Larkin,
our friend,
is
Caitlin,
here for the dogs and conspiracy theories.
Let's go.
And it was funny.
Our weekly mention of Caitlin Larkin.
Last week,
watch her show. It's on.
Listen to the show.
Yes,
Sirius.
It's on Sirius. It's the
Beatles.
Got it.
So last week she was watching the show, I guess on a replay or whatever, and she said something like, you can at least mention me or something if you're going to talk about me. I'm like,
okay, like mention my show.
No. She's like, mention my show if you're going to talk to me every week. And I was like, did you not watch the whole show?
So because like a full-blown endorsement.
We even pulled up like her Twitter account. We love the regulars.
Oh, love you, Caitlin.
So this week we are doing a share contest, and Julia has the items in front of her. I didn't tell her this until right now. So if you share the show right now or after you watch the show on our Twitter account, this is only a Twitter thing from now on, so I don't have people like Caitlin getting mad at me. We make dog collars and dog leashes. So we have two different models, two different styles, whatever SKUs. The LGM and the Queens, like the straight out of Queens version, both are double-sided. So our logos are on one side. The other side says either Let's Go Mets or the Queens New York. We are giving them away for free. So go on over to our Twitter account and retweet this show for the next 7 days. So next Tuesday, we will announce the winners. There was no winner this week from a giveaway last week because TickPick gave away those free tickets.
Yes.
So
Freddie wears his collar all the time.
no way, really?
Mm-hmm.
Freddie, what a guy.
Yeah.
Freddie doesn't like me.
No, Freddie, my dog hates Darren. To be fair, my dog hates most people upon first meet, but he senses that Darren is like, he's a dog owner, but not a dog person. And
Yeah.
Freddie
No,
can
I'm a
feel
dog
that.
person. I think I'm more of a dog person.
You're becoming a dog person.
I would rather be a dog person than a dog owner, to be honest,
Well,
because I can't sleep. I get no sleep at all.
I
She
know.
doesn't let me.
I know.
So you gave me those steps so she doesn't sit on the floor and whine at us to pick her up. But
Yeah.
now she knows I don't want her in the bed. So when she comes up, and she follows me everywhere. So I'll come up to bed at whatever time, 11 o'clock, midnight. I get in bed. I say, go in your bed. She goes to her bed first. And then she waits until she knows I'm like asleep. And then she'll come up. But she gives me no, like, if this is the entire space of the bed,
Yeah.
Kelly like goes to bed first. So she's kind of already like sprawled out.
Right.
There's like a middle line on the headboard. Let's just imagine that's here.
I don't have a pen.
Whatever. Imagine the headboard line is here. So it kind of splits the bed in half when you're looking behind you.
Right.
She's already past that line, Kelly. And then I get in there. I'm a big guy, 6'2", whatever. And then the dog comes in and lays between us, but not this way.
Horizontal.
And then I have no space.
Freddie does the same thing.
I get like this much blanket.
Chris is moving in this summer, and I have a queen bed, and we're literally getting a king bed for Freddie because he sleeps in between us, and he likes to sleep. He wants his front paws touching me, his back paws touching Chris, and like stretches out.
I can't do it.
No, we can't either. So we put his bed on my bed, but like at our feet. Chris likes to sleep with like layers on his legs. He just likes the pressure of it. So that's perfect. We put Freddie there. And same thing. Once he realizes we're asleep, he'll slowly crawl up and just like inches away, burrow in the blankets.
I fell asleep on the couch last night,
apart.
which I sometimes like better because it's less space. So she doesn't really like lay next to me. She'll like lay on my legs or something. And I'm like, all right, I kind of almost got a better night's sleep last night, not even trying to sleep on the couch.
Just sleeping on the couch.
So anyway, let's talk about our friends from Corona for a second because they have this awesome giveaway they're doing each week. Well, actually, it's every day. You can join whenever you want. So if you go to our link tree, which is in the bio of all of our social media accounts, it brings you to all these important things you might want to know about. So obviously, first and foremost would be our website. Target field tickets go up on Thursday. It will likely be our one and only time visiting the ballpark in Minnesota. No offense to the Twins, but it's not super close to us. The flights are a little bit expensive and probably not something where you're going to do all that often. We might repeat it eventually, but no time soon. But if you scroll down, you'll see this button to the Francisco collection. So if you click that, it opens up. I should have done this already. I'm sorry. It opens up a new page, and I will put my birthday in here, not my address, but my birthday, which is November 8th, old as dirt, 1980. And I'll click remember me so it remembers. And it brings you to this splash page, Corona and the Mets. Enter for a chance to win a limited edition item from the Lindor collection by NYC-based artist Sen 2. So this is all through Corona and the Mets and focused around Francisco Lindor. So when you enter the sweepstakes, you go to the bottom, you enter your name, the state you live in, your email address, and your phone number, and then you're automatically entered into the sweepstakes. So every time Lindor achieves a different milestone here that you could see on the screen, you are then put in the running to win a different exclusive product. So it's super cool, super easy to sign up, free to join. And we are more than happy to have Corona as a partner of not only the Mets, but also the 7 line. So always remember to relax responsibly and, do your job at knowing your limit. You know what I mean?
Yes, of course.
So anything you want to talk about, Julia? Do you want to mention anything, shout out anything? Thanks to TickPick, thanks to Corona, thanks to Mets Vet Dogs, thanks to Jane's Son.
Of course, all of the above. Thanks to all of them.
Yep.
Oh, I forgot to send you a dog of the week. We already had Seaver, and we forgot about
Seaver's the dog of the week.
That's okay. Seaver's the dog of the week. If you want to see your dog, go to Gatto Pups and Friends on Instagram. I'll have another.
Or
one
you
next
could
week.
post it, and I'll just retweet it.
Sure, I'll do that later.
So the dog of the week will be posted on Twitter.
Yes. Oh, I want to hear about Pete's event last night because I didn't get to go, and I'm very curious.
All right.
I saw your content.
Yeah, very happy I was be able to get out there to the Paramount, partook in a few Coronas, so I took an Uber there and Uber home, obviously.
That was the actual comedy show.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Chris DeStefano, whatever, he crushed it.
Yeah,
he went on
everyone loves
second.
him.
I feel like he probably should have went last.
Yeah.
I think they advertised four comedians, but I think only 3 sets happened. But it was very charity based. So like in between each set, Craig Carton and Pete would go out and raffle things off. So
fun.
The one that I wrote down here, there was a fishing trip put up, and Pete's basically goes on the mic. He's like, you can either do it in the off season because he lives in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
You can do it in the off season, or you could do it during spring training. It's for like a boat of four or 5 friends. You go out there, food and drinks and stuff all day, and go fishing. And that went for $27,000.
Is Pete on the trip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You fish with Pete.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's not you just get a fishing trip.
You didn't say that, so I was like, that's a lot for just a fishing trip. No, that's sick.
Yeah, there was a bunch of different things. They were raffling off. There was like polar bear stuffed animals with jerseys on them, and that Pete signed them.
Aww.
And those were going for $2,000 each. But during Chris DeStefano's set, he didn't know that I guess they were being raffled off, and there was a kid in the front. He's like, "Hey, kid, want a polar bear?" And threw it and gave it to him. And Steve Cohen was there, and he's like, Stevie, I'm gonna give this kid some advice. Hey, kid, go outside and sell that for $100, whatever, right? But then he tried to do it again, and someone must have been like, "Yo, stop! Like we're raffling these things off. You know, we're trying to raise money for charity."
That's so funny.
What else funny happened? There was a thing where it was hitting lessons with Pete, like a private batting cage session with Pete, and Jeff from the rafters bid $1,000. So Jeff was like, "I'll take it for $1,000." But it was cool because that one I think went for
win?
No. That went a collective $18,000.
Damn.
Because 2 guys were outbidding each other, and then the one guy kind of laid on and like kind of not a sob story, but he's like, "Hey," Pete, he yelled up. He's like, "Pete, if I win this, can I bring my little leaguers, like 10 kids from the team?" And Pete's like, "Absolutely."
Aww.
So instead of them outbidding each other, he's like, "I'll do both."
Yeah.
So one guy paid $8,000, the other guy with the team I think paid 10. So they all get to do it separate dates.
That's awesome.
But obviously the biggest news of the whole night was Pete wearing that splint.
Yeah.
So they did like this VIP meet and
scary.
greet, like Q&A downstairs before the actual show, and I got to go down there. Thankfully, me and Kelly were hanging out. Have you been in the founders room before at Paramount?
Yes, once a long time.
So I think
ago.
you need like a membership card to even go there on off nights. But we know our friend is a manager there, so we know like the hidden rooms.
Yeah.
So the place was packed. We got there a little bit late, and all the tables were taken. A bunch of guys from SNY were there. Wally Backman was there. Frank the Tank and Coach Doug's and Stu Feiner. A whole Barstool crew were there. But there was no place to really stand or sit.
Right.
So we knew about this room. We opened it, and it was open. It's a bookshelf. You open the bookshelf.
I know what you're talking about.
And we went in. There's a stripper pole in there. So I'm like, man, if this room could talk, you probably even want to know what that room.
No.
You don't want to take a black light to that room.
The pole.
Anyway, so when Pete gets out there for the Q&A, the very first question from Carton was like, "Well, how you feeling?"
Yeah.
Pete's like, "I know it looks a lot worse than it is. You know, these things take time. I'm going to get back out there." Basically, exactly what you expect him to say.
Course.
I'm going to get back out there ASAP. I can't wait to compete again and whatever. So the second question was about free agency.
Yeah, I saw this.
I tweeted all this stuff. If you want to watch the video clips, basically like after next year, you're a free agent. Are you planning to like test the open waters basically? And he's like, "I love the Mets. I want to be here. We'll see what happens. Obviously, can't predict the future."
I was thinking about this.
I can't see him ever being, and Evan jumped in. He's like, if you do stick with the Mets, you are going to hold the record for every hitting category there is, which you will.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this, like, as much as you want to hear somebody emphatically say, like, "No, I'm not going to test free agency. I want to be here and I'm going to stay here." Like, logically, it doesn't make sense to say that because then, you know, you're probably not going to make as much money as you could if the Mets thought that, you know, they have to compete against other teams. So and then having that in the back of my mind and then listening to his answer, I mean, it sounds like this is where he wants to be. I don't think he really wants to leave. It's just
he's got so many roots here, especially now with like these events. I mean, this is a small part of well, it's a big part because he's doing so much great things. They must have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars just last night alone because the tickets to get in, the raffles, and they were raffling off
big event.
Oh yeah. They were raffling off a lot of things. You know, signed XYZ. You know, but yeah, they raised a ton of money. But one thing I wanted to mention, because I forgot to say this during, I don't know if they said it actually during that absence of proof promo, all the money raised from that weekend, if you purchase a ticket through the absence of proof website or whatever, all of the money goes to help with substance abuse. So it's a charity all based around that.
That's
so they're
amazing.
Alex and the charity and the foundation are donating all the money. So that's excellent. So so one more thing from the Pete thing last night was they gave away swag bags.
Okay.
And our table had 4 seats and 2 of those people didn't show up. I don't know who would buy a ticket and not show up.
That's crazy.
So we have 4 swag bags. So we were like, we're not going to leave this here.
Right.
We didn't steal it. We
What's
waited.
in the swag bag?
A lot of cool stuff. So Topps, I guess, teamed up with the Alonzo Foundation to make baseball cards that have, it says Topps. It's a real card. It's not like one of those like cheesy old, like back in the day, they'd make like, it was like an ad kind of.
Right.
This is a real baseball card, but it says Alonzo Foundation in the corner and he signed all of them. So
God,
I have,
make me guess who they are.
well, it's him.
Oh, it's all him.
It's
okay,
Pete.
good.
It's Pete's charity.
Okay.
No. So I gave one to Amelia. She put it with her bobblehead. So I have 3 others. I guess we'll give 2 away on the show, not this week, but we'll put something together in the future for like a giveaway here on the show. So it was special event T-shirts. It had a polar bear wearing sunglasses, number 20 on it, and on the back it said like Alonzo Foundation, you know, with the date from last night.
Sick.
Some of those sunglasses that they gave away at Citi Field.
Yes.
And a few other things, but whatever. I'll put it together and we'll do something here on the show. But
Fun.
Besides that, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Again, this was like the most, not off the rails, but like
This
off
was the
brand,
perfect
but
show.
best brand because it was fun.
This was my brand.
Dogs, conspiracy theories, Corona, tick pick, charity,
and like a
absence of proof,
pinch of Mets.
Yeah, a little Mets.
That's perfect.
5-0. We'll be back here next Tuesday. And see you at the tailgate in a little bit. I'm actually leaving a whole hour earlier than I planned because Shu got out of work early.
Let's go.
So I'm out of here. See you at the tailgate lot, marina lot. Be there, be square, hang out, have fun, and let's go Mets.
Scuba net.
That's right.